Well, hello. Here I am. I am here. Don't worry. The seeing conditions are the atmosphere seems to be playing along at the moment, which is not normal, but I'll take it. So if you're just joining now, make sure you use the live chat and leave, comments, questions in there, and I will answer them as I can, do so. Getting everything set up now to be able to do some decent imaging here on Jupiter in RGB. The Great Red Spot is just on the left side of the planet, just barely rotating into view. Hey Marlon, hey Bruno, how are you guys? Hello Charles. I've got, so up in the corner, upper right hand corner of the screen, you can see my telescope that's currently in use. And in the screen right now, you've got the live view through that telescope. That what we're seeing, and oh, this is interesting actually, because I left the screen kind of up on the telescope, you can actually see it. Oh, this is interesting. That's cool. So with this view at the moment, and yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. I'm gonna do a little bit of imaging while the atmosphere is playing along. Just quick, I'm gonna do like one quick RGB run here, just to try and see if I can get something good for the evening, because this is quite nice. Doesn't always look this good. It's been horrible lately. So the people that have been on the stream before, sure you can attest to the fact that it's been pretty rough through the scope lately. Ooh, and that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll save that one. So what we'll do is we'll probably do Saturn first tonight, and then move back over to Jupiter, because the Great Red Spot is right here on the left side. It's going to rotate in about an hour, a little over an hour, 20 minutes or so. It's going to be more of kind of a dead center type of thing. And then a little bit after that, the moon Io over here, this is Io, one of its moons, is going to be right on the edge, and the shadow of Io is actually going to show up on the planet, which is going to be really cool. So that's going to be nice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do just a quick image here, and then we'll chat about what's going on a little bit with this. So we can always, you should be able to see everything on the screen. Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. And there's two of me again. Why not? Why not, right? Hello, Johan. How are you? Nice to see you here. Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna do, so basically I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 captures of red, green, and blue, maybe 3. You'll see. And then we're gonna pop over to Saturn and do a little bit of Saturn. So that was red. Now I'm going to switch over to the green filter. This is what it looks like in green. You can see the GRS, the great red spot, just on the left side of the planet. Do a little bit of focus tweaking here. Seeing conditions aren't perfect, but you know what? They're a lot better than they have been in the past. So I'm gonna be thankful that I've got this, actually. A little high on gain there. So let's turn that down. Do another 6. So I do 60 seconds of each color. And then save that. What's up, Andrew? Nice to see you again. Got some return viewers. That's good. That must mean I'm not doing too bad a job here. So I know it looks like everything's super stable and everything's all perfectly in the center and everything, but that is slightly due to the software. The software, those 4 dots that are visible on the screen, are making sure that any tracking errors that my telescope has is being corrected for with the software. So it's taking what it knows as the center of mass of the planet and throwing it right into the center of the camera chip. So now I'm going to switch over to blue. Looks like we have to turn up the gain a little bit with blue. Also, so I try and keep the histogram pretty close to the same for all 3 colors. And then adjust the focus a little bit. This is the first imaging that I've done tonight, so you're seeing the maiden voyage of tonight's imaging session. Not too bad. Actually, the fact that blue looks this good is pretty impressive, believe it or not. So hopefully the seeing conditions hold for the course of the evening. Go ahead and take that. So the reason I shoot 60 seconds per filter is normally you have to worry about rotation on the planet. Jupiter does a full rotation in about 9.5 hours. So we actually see rotation happening quickly. And so technically you should only do about 2 minutes total for say 1 capture before you start seeing rotation blur. It's actually a little less than that, but it really just depends on the resolution that you're capturing. You know. Oh yeah, Kevin. Well, it's somewhat fancy, you know. This new. So Kevin Freitas is here. He's a old school. He's been on the stream quite a few times. Okay, so I've done 1 RGB capture. Saved this to the filter. What you can see, I've also got. So this view where you see the whole computer screen. This is my control center. This is what I'm showing you this telescope view window only, just because that's the interesting stuff. But over here we've got the histogram of the current image. This is the temperature sensor on the camera itself. These are the camera controls. What it looks like, you know, this is the actual image control where I set how big the images, and then filter controls when I want to capture, and then this is the focuser. So I use an electronic focuser attached to the computer as well. So that's that view. I'm going to switch back to red now and do another capture because this actually turned out okay. Let's see how if that held. And it's going to get brighter and brighter throughout the night also. I'm actually going to set this up to do an automatic sequence. So the way this works is I tell it how many sequences to do. RGB, I want to do 60 seconds, and I want to do a 9-second delay in between each. So we're going to go ahead and just start that. It's going to automatically run through that sequence. And I can talk about some of this other stuff now. So yeah, if you have any questions for the new people that are joining or watching right now, always put them in the comments. Everything goes. It's cool. I can also, now this is interesting. Check. I can put the chat up there. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, it seems so cluttered on the screen though, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. Plus now, you know, everybody can see what you're saying, even if you're not, but so, that's interesting. And now this is, yeah, my control. Let's see, make sure the focus is good while it captures. And then these arrows down here, this is the telescope control, actually, to move the telescope itself. There we go. Get that dialed in. So I adjusted focus a little bit. Yeah, you can really see quite a bit of detail. I'm pretty happy with this. This is pretty good. And you can see here on the cutout where it says cutout, this is the actual size of the image that it's capturing. So the videos that it's capturing is 568 by 510 pixels there. That's the actual size of the video. And what that does is I don't care about IO at this point. I'm really only concerned about details on the planet for capture. But one of the things that you do have to worry about with this is let's see if I need to adjust focus a little bit. I do. Okay. That's pretty darn good. So what was I talking about? I forgot now. I don't remember. Anyway. Let's see. So yeah, I'll go through these questions now. Bruno. Oh, here we go. See, I can do this. Bruno says you're pretty ignorant when it comes to telescopes. It's okay. You just tell the computer like go to Saturn, or do I enter the coordinates? Well, I've spent time prior to now to go ahead and tell it like where things are in the sky, where basically I line it, and once it knows the locations of a few bright stars or a few objects in the sky, it will then, yes, at that point, then I can tell it, okay, now go to Saturn, or go to Jupiter, or go to Mars, or wherever, and it will do that for me. So that just makes things easier. But you can also use coordinates if you want to. So I can plug in actual coordinates of objects, and then, I mean, that's not something I do very often. That's about the only time you'd really plug in coordinates is if there's like a special object, a supernova that's happening, or maybe a comet. You might plug in coordinates, known coordinates of a particular comet at the moment, which that is, you know, something that you do sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another run of this. Color while things are nice, and then we're going to switch over to Saturn while we're waiting for the great red spot to rotate back around. So we'll do one more red, green, blue capture, and then we'll come back afterward. We do a little bit of Saturn. So what's the next comments we've got? Andrew Planet says, new to astronomy, playing this while you're potting some plants. All right then. Not bad background, I suppose. So yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, I do 60. Oh, I was talking about rotation. So basically you can only do a certain amount of rotation, or a certain amount of imaging per like, so if you're doing color or even just one black and white capture, you can really only do up to maybe 2 minutes or a little bit less before you start seeing rotation blur. And so you might be thinking like, okay, well, you're doing red, green, and blue, you know, aren't you going to get rotation blur? The thing is, I won't, because what I do is I'll go in post-processing, I will actually adjust the files in the process called derotating, where I'll take those files and put them into a software program called WinJupos, and that takes the rotation element out of the equation and will actually move them back where it would have been and line them all up so they're all nicely aligned in where it needs to be. So I wonder what this looks like if we do this. So yeah, this is my big view of me. That's scary. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't scare anyone. Let me see. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised with all of this. This is nice. Okay, so this is the last blue. Now we're just gonna, after this, we're gonna move over to Saturn next. And to do that, because somebody was asking about that, okay, first I have to close this, and that will go back to our red. Okay. Turn off the clipping box. I want to turn off the automatic centering, and then I will actually maximize the view. So that's the full chip view, what we're seeing now. That's the actual full size of the camera chip. And then I have to switch targets. We actually, so this is where it's super handy. Since I've already done the alignment, and luckily Saturn is really close by to Jupiter. Oh Oh my goodness. So is Pluto. Huh! Look at that. Okay, that's cool. We should really see if we can see Pluto, because that'd be insane. Is that like... Pluto is so close that it might even look like one of the moons of Jupiter. Because, wow. So this is the simulated view. Pluto is here, Jupiter is here. The moons are actually going to be farther apart than... That is insane. Saturn can wait. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to switch this view to my full screen because, okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to tell the telescope it's going to move. We're going to tell it to go to Pluto. It's weird because it's going to go really far out and then it's going to come back. So technically right now we should be close to Pluto. Yeah, and I don't know which of these is Pluto. That's the problem. Pluto's just going to look like a star if it even shows up at all. So let's turn this up. I mean, any of these could be. This is Jupiter up here. It's so close to Jupiter. That's nuts. I don't know which of these is Pluto. I have no idea. I don't even know how to tell, to be honest. I have a guide now. We're gonna look. I've got a sky guide. Okay. Now, if we look at, okay, there's Jupiter, Io. There's a bright star below it. Where's Pluto now? Okay, so it's not that close. Okay, never mind, it's not that close. Now, if we can figure this out, this is, okay, this is just me being, this is, you know, one of the random things that we do on these. So you'll have to bear with me on this. Try and figure out what view I've got. Is that reversed? Where the heck am I with that? This is crazy. Yeah, so that's Jupiter. Funny. I don't think this app is right. I don't know which of those is Pluto. I'm not even going to try this right now because that's just insane. So we're going to actually skip this and just go to Saturn. Like I said, going to go straight over to Saturn. So this is where Saturn is. We're going to go to Saturn. The scope is going to move itself over there because that's what I've told it to do. There we see. This is my pointing scope here. It's got another little camera on it. I'm going to move that. Oops, which way is which here? There we go. Put it where I know the center of the scope is. And I see it popping in above there. You can barely see it. Okay, there it is. Stop that. So there's Saturn. Looking beautiful right now. Wow, that's that's so pretty. Okay, so now we can pop over to Saturn. Very nice. Put that in the center. So there you go. There we've got Saturn. Very, very nice of you. Geez, that's beautiful. We should feel lucky with this one. That's gorgeous. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a live view. So this is, I mean, you know, I always like to talk about how the whole reason I call this live stream the telescope time machine is because we're actually looking back in time. I mean, this is about an hour and a half ago or so in actual real time. This is about an hour and a half in the past. So if you can, you know, think about the fact that we're looking at an hour and a half, what Saturn looked like an hour and a half ago. This is what it was. So very, very cool stuff right here. Let's see. I'm getting a little drift on the telescope. Come back. There we go. So those red dots, it's a software. What the software is telling me what kind of correction we're getting here. So Saturn is quite a bit dimmer than Jupiter. I'm going to switch over to green. See what our histogram is on green. It's about, yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I like to keep them at about 70% histogram. Let's switch over to blue. Blue is noisy. There is detail in that. Yeah, I mean this is ripe for imaging here. I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna shoot this. This is gonna be great. We're gonna just go ahead and do 4 red, green, and blue sequences at, we're gonna do 90 seconds per color for Saturn, and this is incredible. This is great. Jeez. Oh, okay, I need to delete that file. I forgot to. Let's see. Turn on this clipping box. There we go. So that'll be nice and small. Yeah, like that. Now we can go. Okay, cool. Saturn is looking good. This is incredible. Very, very nice. Should we make it a little bigger? I think so. I'll recenter it for you. Sorry about that. That's just. There's big Saturn there on the screen. I'll keep it centered. Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow. Very, very nice. Oh, I need to post on Instagram now also. I need to take a screenshot, don't I? I do. Okay, so that's still going well. Do this. Oh, I took a screenshot when it was like when it was switching filters. That's not good. That's funny. Saturn is quite beautiful though. Wow. Very, very nice. Okay. It's gonna have to be good enough. Oops. Sometimes I have to make small corrections in the pointing of the scope, you know, along with focus and everything else, because it is not perfect, and my scope actually needs a tune. It needs to have the gears and everything adjusted and replaced. Well, not the gears replaced, but the lubrication, the grease replaced. So let's see here. Yeah. That will be fine. Oh, why did it switch? Oh, that only does that on when it's bigger than 100%. Interesting. Well, I can fix that manually, so it's fine. All the little things we have to pay attention to when we're imaging. So if, again, if anybody has any questions, you know, remember to post them in the comments and I will answer them. As soon as I can. This is when I feel like I need to play music or something if I don't have anything massive, you know, massively cool to say at the moment. So this is our first run of red, green, and blue right now. Readjust this. Okay, so it seems that it wants to move around. Let's go back to 100%. Okay, we'll do that. That's strange. To make a note. So the developer of this acquisition software, this is I'm running a beta version of it now. Oops, no, come back. I don't want to lose that. There we go. It's actually been running really well. There's a couple of little odd things here and there, but not too bad. This is software that's been around for quite a long time, so. And my focus positions are quite good. Pretty happy with that. The higher things get in the sky, the better this is going to be. So there's that. Oh man, the silly chat hasn't been updating in the window, so I apologize that I've missed some of these messages. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looks Prima946, you're here again. How's it going, sir? Kevin, just after lunch, first day of July. Yeah, not even 60. Yeah. Well, hey, you know, if I can help you enjoy the night sky, then that's good. Right now, right now, look at this. We got the Cassini division, very, very apparent. We've got a little bit of contrast above the equatorial belt of Saturn. Very, very nice. And you can see we're really close to opposition now, so there's almost no shadow. There's very, very little shadow because the sun, as far as from the view of the Earth, the sun is very face on onto Saturn. So there's not a whole lot of shadow on the edge there. So we're really doing pretty good here. I'm not going to complain at all. This is quite nice. I wonder if it will pop back in. Oh yeah. So I'm at 27 degrees, 26 degrees south. And up in Seattle, you guys are quite a bit higher than that. And you're probably like, what, 50 degrees north? And when you get to those, you know, more extreme latitudes, your seasons, like, so your nights are much longer in the winter than mine, and your days are much longer in the summer than mine. So no, yeah. So Kevin is asking in the comments here if my stacking software. Hey, 50 degrees was a good guess then. Kevin is asking if my stacking software automatically takes the best frames, or do I have to pick those manually? No, the stacking software automatically chooses the best frames and throws out all the rest. I basically set a threshold. I will stack 10%, 20%, 35%, and 50% of the best frames. So the software will analyze every frame and see what the sharpest ones are and use the sharpest frames to choose those percentages for me, and then I use those, and this is looking really, really good. I'm quite happy with this. I am not going to lie, this looks great. Yeah, and this is completely mucked up. That's okay. Just have to keep it over here. Move this. There we go. Okay. Wow, that's a sharp view. We should feel pretty happy about that. That's beautiful. Beautiful view of Saturn. Yeah, and I was guessing Kevin in the comments, he lives in Seattle, and we're talking about the length of the days and the nights. And you know, the further away from the equator you get, the bigger difference in your days and nights on your seasons. You know, short winter days and long summer days. So it doesn't change quite as much. It's only a couple of hours difference for me between summer and winter. But yeah, for you it's much longer in those farther away latitudes. Wow, this is really, really good. I'm impressed. This is when this gets a lot easier, when you're not constantly fighting the atmosphere. I'm interested to see what methane looks like. This will be kind of cool. I'm gonna have to make some coffee. This is gonna be a good night. I'm looking forward to it. And that. Does anybody else like, so what I just did now, just to give you a different view, I'll throw this on there. Does anybody else go through and like habitually empty the trash if you're on a Mac, or the recycle bin if you're on a PC? Because like, I don't know, it's like I can't handle any files being in the trash. You know, it's like I have to have a clean clean computer. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Let's go back to the so you might notice blue is often not as sharp as red and green, and that's just the way it is. Blue is a little bit narrower. It's a lot more difficult to get good focus. So you have to have really good seeing in order for blue to be nice and sharp. When you do, though, if you can get blue, that usually means that the atmosphere is doing really well and you don't have any issues. So it's quite nice. Okay, so we're starting another one. So this is our final color run on Saturn, and from what I can see now, it's hopefully going to provide some decent results. This will be awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's quite nice there. Oh man, Marlon in the comments is trying to shoot Jupiter, but just got clouds all night in the month. Well, it's a new month now, so you know, if you've got clouds tonight in July, then you know, then you're gonna have clouds for the entire month, you know, because July just started one day. So yeah, finally I've got some decent seeing conditions. 807 Backyard Astronomer, how there? How you doing? Nice to see you here. Thanks for coming. This is not normal for me. Normally, here in Johannesburg, the seeing conditions, even though, I mean, you can see the telescope is pointed, it's going to be straight up soon enough, you know, in a couple of hours. And it's, a lot of times the seeing conditions still is terrible. And, you know, folks in the northern hemisphere that are stuck with the planets at really low altitudes can still get better images than me, just because this is really showing bad jet stream issues and cloud layers and everything. I run into that all the time, but tonight so far it's doing okay, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, very nice. So we're gonna do basically one more red, or sorry, one more. We're gonna finish up this green that it's on now, and then gonna do another blue, the last blue, and then switch back over to Jupiter, and we will watch the Great Red Spot. It should be getting a little closer. Out on Twitter, I put some information of when. Let's see, where was that? Pull that up now. Yes, the GRS should be centered in another 45 minutes or so. Yeah. What just happened to blue? Well, that's dumb. Blue's gone. We're gonna have to redo that. We just lost it. When things go wrong, it just scrolls out of view, just like that. That's fine. See what I can do now. I'll center that again. Realign it in the middle. Actually gonna exit this auto run. It's gonna switch back to red. And then I'm gonna manually switch it to blue and do a 90-second capture to make up for this. But first, I'm gonna delete that last blue. Yes. Okay, now I'll do a capture. Okay, so just do it manually, that's fine. Sometimes things happen, and it's okay. You just deal with it. That last blue wasn't as good as this one, anyway, so. Okay. So we're done with the blue. Yeah, so that's Saturn. We're gonna go ahead and pop back over to Jupiter now. So in order to do that, I'm going to cancel the clipping box, cancel the auto align. I'm gonna maximize the screen view. I'm gonna turn, oops, oh, what's wrong with that? What? Okay, fine. Just go away, there we go. PhD decided to die. Okay. We do need that to work though, because so there's that. Oh no, what is that all about? What is that? That's strange. That's a strange error. Okay, so we lost the point scope on it. That's not good. I wonder if I have to kill PhD and restart it. So this is what happens sometimes. Work or something. Yeah, enjoy, Kevin. Thanks for popping in. Kevin's gonna take off, but that's okay. I'm gonna be here for a while. What is going on now? Why is all of a sudden my USB on the camera deciding to... Oh, it's probably dead. Okay, so I need to send that because we need to kill... Oh, no, that's not... Let's check to see... I haven't had this problem before in a long time. It's no good. It's not connected. It's dead. It is dead. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. Let's just try and do this manually, I guess. We don't need that pointer scope. We can do this the hard way. Let's say go to Jupiter. Okay, we're gonna go over there. It's gonna slew it around. We're gonna watch the screen here. Let's see if we can get it to pop in. Let's see if I remember right last time. It's gonna be... Oh goodness. I really do need that pointer scope. It's not accurate enough to get it close. Oh damn. That is just no good. I might have to go and reset the camera. I'm gonna have to go and reset the guide camera. So I will be right back. For the moment, I'm going to leave you with a view Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. It wouldn't be a night of astrophotography if we didn't have problems. Because that's just how it goes. We have issues. Always. So there's Jupiter in all its glory, and believe it or not, the Great Red Spot is dead center. Well, not dead center, sorry, not at all. This is the GRS right now. Gonna turn on the ephemeride information. Gonna turn on, let's see. Yeah. Put that nicely in the center. Turn on our clipping box. There we go, there's that. Now I want to center it. So there we go, there's Jupiter nicely in there. Looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty, I'm happy with that. Let's see how the green looks. Also quite nice. Pretty decent. And seeing's gonna change as the night progresses. So we're gonna have to adjust the focus as we go. I'm gonna use the moon Io as a guide, but also the planet itself. We've got all kinds of things to deal with here. This is working pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that. Okay, a little bit of vibration in the sky, but that's gonna happen. So that's 116,520. I'm actually setting the focus on all these, and here's the blue. Also pretty good, but I think we can do a little better. Really get this nailed in. It would be nice to have a nice quality. There we go. There we go. That's the focus I was looking for. Okay. So basically 116.5 is what we were using for red. Or sorry, for green and blue. So I'll put this over here. You don't need to see that. Nothing to see here, folks. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'll take it. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so we're gonna do a bit of an auto run on here. We're gonna do 4 more of these, 60 seconds each. because that's, yeah, that's gonna be nice. And then we can switch over and we can do the methane. So methane is interesting as well. It's very, very different, very cool. So this is Jupiter with the red filter, and that's why the great red spot has kind of disappeared. It's right there. It's there. It's just because it's kind of gone away. Kind of looks like that's pretty good. Focus looks good. I'm gonna leave it and let it do its thing. So now we're on green. You can see the great red spot nicely in view. Yeah, I mean, we can see, wow, what's this? We've got, yeah. There's quite a bit of detail that I can see on the planet now. There's like a darker spot there. That'll come out nicely. You see some decent contrast in the polar areas, the polar regions. It's also nice. I'm also keeping an eye on my hard drive space. I've got 113 gigabytes left. That is a thing that you do have to worry about. Focus looks pretty good. Some nice points of blue here. So up in the corner, you can see this is the elapsed time of the capture. This is how many frames we've captured. This is what filter we're on. This is the frames per second. This is how many captures we've done. And this is the file size of that particular capture right now. So, wow, this is actually looking really good for blue. Yeah, I'm impressed. I am impressed. Not bad at all. So it's going to switch back to red and automatically run through the sequence again. Basically just going to do this 4 times where it's going to automatically run through all the sequence. Focus looks pretty good. I'm not going to change that. This is very steady. So this is not bad at all. As we go also, we are 14 days away from the biggest and brightest Jupiter is going to be this year for us. It's called Jupiter opposition. And when basically that just means that it's face on with the sun. So you've got the sun, and then you've got Earth, and then you've got Jupiter. So that when it's nighttime for us, the sun is face on with Jupiter, and we can see that. So that's focus here is pretty good. This is on green now. Yeah, I shouldn't have touched it. It's just a bit of a crap spot in the atmosphere. Nothing I can do about that. Looks good though. Looks pretty good. Now we're going to switch over to blue. So this is our second RGB run. I feel like this could be a little better with the focus. Seems like we're just hitting a rough patch of sky. Yeah, that's okay. Back to where we were with the focus point. Still nice, still a lot better than it's been in the past week or so. So I can't really complain too much. Keep it nice and centered. I don't know, I think we might get some nice data out of this. Yeah, it's looking really good. And I don't have to work tomorrow, so that means I can process data. Very cool. So this is our third RGB capture of 4. Might do another 4 after this. We've got the time. I think it's a good idea. That looks good. back to red. There we go. So this is our fourth RGB color capture run, where I am somewhat happy about this data. This is pretty good. Hope it stacks up nice. So we've got some new people watching now. Feel free to ask some questions in the comments about what you're seeing. You know, this is Jupiter. This is we're doing actual astronomy imaging here. This is the Great Red Spot. This is the moon Io of Jupiter. This is my mouse pointer. And yeah, so if anybody has any questions about anything, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Let's see, what time on Twitter, what time did I say things were going to happen? I said the GRS would be centered in about 10 minutes. You know, I was off by a little bit, but not too bad. Okay, so here's our blue. Yeah, I mean, this is really stable. I'm pretty impressed with this. This is pretty good. This is quite nice. Wow. I mean, that's blue. Blue is never that good. That's really good. I'm gonna give this a, you know, 7 out of 10, say, for seeing conditions. Definitely 7 out of 10. Wow. Let's see if I can catch a screenshot of this blue, because that's impressive stuff right there. Yeah, crazy, crazy. I think I got one good screenshot out of the deal. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so that was our fourth RGB capture for that. Now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another RGB while things are good, because it's looking nice and there's no reason not to do this. So we're back on red. Yeah, let's do it while let's get it while the getting's good here. I would love to have a nice one. That's beautiful. Wow. I'll take it. I wonder if you can hear my computer fan cooking there. So I've got this computer here is a streaming computer, and then this one is basically my image control. It's just a dual screen monitor, and I'm running TeamViewer, so I've got the I've got that. This is my TeamViewer view of the telescope view now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep shooting because this is wonderful. This is just fantastic to have seeing conditions this good. So, I mean, you are getting a treat at the moment. This is just really quite good. Wow. Damn. That is really good. This is the best seeing conditions I've seen in a long time. Very, very nice. So for the people watching now, this is not normal. This is abnormally good at the moment. Very, very cool. I mean, this is blue. Wow. We can see detail on the north. This is the North Polar region. We can see detail. Oh, insanity. I mean, it's a little bit jumpy here and there, but it's stable, you know, stable enough. Really getting some good stuff. This is awesome. Gotta mark these as, you know, have to mark this capture, this acquisition folder as good, because it is good. Okay, and then after this, we're gonna need to start dialing back the gain on the camera. It's getting high enough. It's getting really close to 100%, and I don't want to get all the way to 100% on the histogram, because then we're going to start blowing out features. And there's our blue. Oh, this is our green. Yeah, I gotta be careful with this one. It's okay, it's just close. Okay. Yo, yeah, we definitely have to adjust the gains on all of these. Drop it down a little bit. Ah, it's looking so good though. Wow. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Cannot believe, yeah, the quality of this live feed right now is really, really good. Okay, so I'm changing the gain now. I just dropped the gain by a couple of clicks on red, and I'm gonna do the same thing when we get to green. Well, I don't know. Ethan, hi. Ethan, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Yeah, it is cool though. I mean, this is yeah. Don't often get decent atmospheric seeing, so I thought tonight was going to be good. According to the forecasts. Okay, so here's green. Drop that down a bit. Couple of clicks, yeah, that'll be better. I mean, this is pretty good though. See if I can dial that focus in even better. Because if I can, yeah. Sometimes I do adjust while it's going. I'm actually pretty good on focus there, so I should probably just leave well enough alone. Yeah. It's not getting any better. Definitely very good. Let's hope it stays this way. So this is our third of four more RGBs, and then I'm gonna switch to, I can't decide if I want to do infrared first or if I want to do methane. I think I want to do methane first. So I'll do methane after we're going to do one more run of the RGB, and then we're going to do methane. Yeah, the conditions are quite nice at the moment. Okay, so that was blue. Back to red. So this is our final RGB run. Yeah, I can't decide if I want to do methane or infrared first. Because infrared is going to take... infrared is going to take a bit of time. About 15 minutes, 18 minutes. I'll switch, yeah, after this RGB, I will do methane. Because methane's just cool. So we'll do that. I want to get methane while the GRS and everything is front and center like this. Let's see if there's anything going on that right side of the GRS. Also, it's looking good though. Ooh. Wow, look at how stable that is. This is unusual. Very unusual how stable this is. I'm not used to this. Kind of freaking out a little bit here. Wow. Really, really nice. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to switch to blue. Oh, that was close. It was like 98% histogram there. Oh, look at blue. Blue is never this good. Oh, wow. I mean, come on. That's just great. I never get blue that stable. Believe it or not, that's good. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Super stoked. Let's show the full screen again. So this is the final blue for the moment. Man, I want to keep shooting. I am going to keep shooting, but yeah, we're going to switch over to see if we can get some good methane after this. Let's see how that goes. Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm done with the RGB. Now we're going to switch over to methane. Okay, let's try this. Again, I love methane. It's super cool. Okay, so this is the ugly methane filter. Oh, that's so cool though. Look at how cool that looks. Yeah, that just looks cool. Oh, that's just epic. Ah. Okay, definitely this cutout box needs to change. Oh, you know what? I think you're right though. I don't know why my dogs are barking right now. Okay, that just looks cool. So this is what methane looks like anyway. Methane is a bit strange. It's like narrowband for planets. That's just beautiful. yeah, this is methane. So in order to do this, it's 5, 6, 8 by 5, 10. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to reset this cutout box to be that. Right on the center of that. That's beautiful. Now what we have to do is we need to do a dark frame. Histogram's pretty good at 50%. I will take that. Okay, so now I need to do a dark frame. And in order to do that, I need to relinquish control of the filter wheel. Okay, so, and then I actually need to control the filter wheel directly with serial commands that I've got so we can see where we're at. Okay, so we can take dark frame now. We're in between filters. I'm actually going to do more dark frames. I'm going to do 30 dark frames. Okay, so now it's going to utilize a dark frame. And I'm going to reset the filter wheel. It's now resetting the filter wheel, so we're going to see it whip around and change. And as soon as it's done, it's going to set itself into the infrared filter. And then I'm going to set it to the okay, it's on there now. We're back to methane. And I can close that connection. And we can shoot methane now. So what we'll do is we're going to do a bunch of 2-minute setting. We're going to do a bunch of 2 minutes of methane. Single filter methane. Do 120 seconds. Gonna do 10 of them. And that's all we do. So we can just watch that kick down. Oh, I never refocused. What the hell am I doing? I need to refocus this. I just like assumed focus was good. So let's fix this. Let's do okay. Now we're gonna use the moon. Focus looks pretty good, but I'm gonna make some small adjustments and see if I can get it kind of dialed in. a little better. Okay, that's definitely worse. So down here you can actually see there's some clouds, some high altitude clouds on the southern pole region. It's really hard to focus on this, but I think I've got it. I think I've got it now. So now we can run. Now we can actually shoot. Okay. That was dumb. I'm gonna mark down that I did 30 frames. 30 frame dark on that. Show the full screen now. So everybody's curious what the heck you're looking at right now. You're looking at the methane filter, CH4, and what that is doing is that it's actually showing the high altitude clouds. So the brighter things are, the higher altitude they are in the atmosphere of Jupiter. So you're actually going to see, this is basically a topographical type of feature on Jupiter. So we're going to do a whole bunch of these captures. So there's our first 2-minute capture. We're just going to do a bunch of these and basically going to monitor this the whole time while it's shooting. And then I'm going to try and make a nice image of it after this is finished. huge, something new, you know? So it's always interesting to look at these in different wavelengths. If anybody has any questions, remember you can put them in the chat. And I will answer them as I can. It would just be amazing to see, you know, like something start forming in front of us. That can happen. Ethan, who is watching now, he actually captured, last year, he captured an impact, a meteor impact on Jupiter. So while he was imaging, just like what I'm doing now, he actually captured a meteor hitting the planet and causing a bright flash. Very cool stuff. And it's helpful because then they can watch what happens in that area. All the amateur astronomers around the world will watch what happens around that area where the meteor impact hit, and the folks who study planetary atmospheres can watch what happens and then apply that knowledge to Earth. At least that's what I know about it. That's about it, though. Yeah. Ethan's asking me if I've tried the new version of Detect. So there's a software package that was developed, I think in France, and it analyzes every single video frame of Jupiter that you capture, and it looks for impacts, bright flashes and things like that, and then it'll warn you. And apparently there's a new version of that, and no, I haven't. Last I downloaded it was, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. So there's a new version. I'll have to check it out. But and yeah, it's not like we'd see those flashes, you know, like wow. And maybe we could see them in a YouTube video just like this. But chances are, you know, we're not going to see those unless you're sitting there staring at the thing the whole entire time. You know, it could happen. It's valid, but it's also somewhat doubtful. You're probably not going to see when those meteor impacts happen. So we're almost halfway through. We're going to do 10 of these captures, and then I'll switch back and I'll do infrared. So we're on number 5 of 10. these file sizes are much smaller. They're much lower resolution. But man, I just think they're interesting. The Mickey Way says, I was observing both planets from my Orion SkyQuest XT8 and now I'm jealous. This looks amazing. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you like it. It's a good view. If you were observing it with your eye, I mean, I'm sure it looked pretty cool because there's not much better than, you know, actual eye observation. That's such a cool thing to see, to watch. I'll switch this over back to this view so you can kind of see that as well. You see Io getting close. It's covered up by the clipping box at the moment, but this is pretty cool. So where are we? We're on number 7 of 10 of these captures. A little bit boring, I know, right now, but that's kind of what we've got to do to get a good image, because these are very, very noisy, and we need to stack lots of them on. But yeah, observing with the eye, if you've never looked at the telescope, you know, the planets through a telescope, it's an experience that's just so cool. You just kind of never forget, you know. Very, very cool stuff. Let's see, let me adjust this. Show you another view of the Yeah, Saturn. Saturn is one of those planets that, when you look at Saturn through the eyepiece, it just looks fake. Whenever I look at it, it seems like it looks like something out of a sci-fi film. You know, like it's not real. That's not something that you can actually see. That's insane. It doesn't exist. There's no way. It's not that cool. So, you know, but it is. The thing is, it looks wrong, but it's not. It's just incredibly beautiful. So if you get a chance to look through a telescope with your eye, you must do it, because it's just so cool. I think so the Milky Way says he wishes, you know, you wish that everybody could see it and be interested. And the thing is, I think they are. I think there's not a person out there that if you show them, you know, a planet or the moon or whatever through the telescope, they're not going to say it sucks. And if they do, I don't know. I don't want to know them. But I think everybody's got that love for space, because it's the unknown. You know, we don't know anything about it. It's such a cool thing. So we're on number 8 here of 10. So there's just a couple more of these. And then we're going to switch over to infrared and do kind of the same thing for infrared. Joel Sweatman, hey, nice to see you again. I remember you from the last stream. Are you using... Let's see, Joel Sweatman's asking me if I'm using a Wi-Fi connection. No, it's actually, yeah, it's over Wi-Fi right now. So I'm using a TeamViewer Wi-Fi screen share right now. And so over here on this computer, on this side, this monitor here is my telescope control center monitor, if you want. And then this computer, the main one, is running the live stream. So technically I don't need this computer. I'm only using this one to actually show you. So, but yeah, I mean, this is pretty damn solid right now. I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to go back and do infrared just now. So yeah, I'll go back to the, so this is like, yeah, this is the screen. You're seeing the full screen that I see. This is how I've got it laid out. I've got my targeting camera down here. When I only need to use that when I change targets. And then, you know, this is the fire capture software. So this is where I capture everything. Actually, I could kind of slide this over, make some room, but it looks better over here, I think. You know, kind of have everything there. And then this is the automatic run sequence. It shows me what's happening. So we're on 9 of 10. We're almost done with methane. Yeah, I'm really impressed at the stability of the skies right now. This is great. This is great. Very happy with this. I'm gonna go to bed happy tonight. Wake up and do some cool, some nice processing tomorrow. Hey, Renee. Renee's here watching. She's a old school fan of the live stream. I hope everything's good with you, Renee. Hope you're okay. Oh, that's interesting. So apparently there's some new software that, yeah, the software that we use to detect the impacts. There's going to be some new stuff. That's cool. Cool to hear about that. And we got people in the comments. Bloodpire ZA says, yeah, you have no background in photography, astronomy, or anything, but you love watching and seeing this stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, seriously, you're looking at space. This is another planet, you know. This thing, what we're seeing right now on Jupiter, this is invisible to the human eye. I mean, this is a very, very narrow part of the light spectrum, and the methane band. So what this is showing is, I need to learn more about this filter, and I keep saying that, but I've been busy, okay? But, you know, this is showing basically stuff that isn't the light that isn't absorbed by methane in the atmosphere, because methane absorbs light apparently, and so the brighter spots that we see here are literally just bright spots on they're higher altitude. They're clouds basically that are reflecting light that are covered by less methane. So the brighter it is, the less methane there is around it, and the higher altitude it is. And so you see down here on the pole, there's like a brighter area. So there's, you know, that's going to be clouds that are, or haze or something, you know, that's higher up in the atmosphere of Jupiter. That's about all I know with that, you know. There's so much interesting stuff to see. So almost done with methane. And now we're done with methane. Okay. Done with methane. Now I'm going to switch back over to infrared. But I also have to reinitialize the filter wheel. And let's see if that worked or if I have to restart the software. Seemed to work. Very cool. Okay, so this is infrared. Looks like infrared. Now, that is Jupiter and Io. Now we're gonna have to do some focusing, obviously, because this is crap. So let's fix it. Okay, we'll put it in the middle. Now, focus on the infrared filter. Yeah, this is incredibly steady. I'm really, really happy with this. Well, hard to tell if I just got worse or if that was the atmosphere doing that. That was definitely me. Okay, that's good to know. Let's go back. Go back this way. Ooh, and that was bad. Let's go back. Okay. Let's see if we can get this nailed. Ooh, getting there. Getting there. I'm using the moon and also the surface features on the planet to try and dial that in. Get as much contrast as I can. Very nice. Okay, so this is infrared. This is a 742 nanometer wavelength infrared. Oh, there we go. Wow. That's good. Whew. I'm gonna save that location of that's really nice. And I'm actually gonna dial back the gain a little bit. That's beautiful. Okay. Because the gain doesn't need to be that high. I'm gonna keep the histogram now. Histogram's gonna be at about 70% for this. Yeah, that's great. Dang, that's beautiful. I'm happy with that. And let's do a clipping box now. We need to reset the size on this because we are going to catch, oh, and we're going to start catching actually the shadow of Io also, which is pretty cool. I'm going to see, yeah, the Io shadow is going to start coming in right here. So that'll be cool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do an auto run, single filter, infrared, a limit of 90 seconds. 120 is too many. And we're going to do 10 of those. There we go. So this is infrared. This is also invisible to the human eye. This is the great red spot. And then, I mean, we see Io, the moon Io there. And the shadow of Io is going to be right here. You're going to start seeing it pop in. So that's also quite cool. I'll be adjusting the focus a little bit as, there we go. Oh, there we go. I will take that. Damn, for a live feed, that's epic. Yeah, that looks great. I'm gonna do a bunch of those. Okay, I'm gonna go get a water refill and oh, look at that shadow come in. Oh, that's so cool. I will let you just watch this and enjoy because this looks so rad. And I'll be back and I'll answer some more questions. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat and I'll answer anything you want about the whole setup. I mean, we can look about the software. We can talk about anything. So for now, I'll leave this view and I will be right back. Yep, you do see the shadow. Here's the shadow popping here. There's the shadow of Io, and this is the moon Io, and I'm going to see them both kind of transit across there slowly. Actually, Io is pretty quick. So, yeah, very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's look here. We've got questions, I know. I'm back. So Renee has a question about software. Yeah, okay, so have I used Indie? No, I've not used Indie. I've used ASCOM, but not Indie. It's definitely quite a bit of a learning curve. You've got yourself in there deep. That's about all I know. So you can really look at the shadow, IO, and the shadow right there. That's really, really cool. All right, yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing stuff right there. That's a beautiful view, I think. Wow. Super cool. I have not used Indie. I've not used K-stars. I'm kind of stuck with more of the normal stuff. Oh, that's cool. So Davide in Italy, he's been watching these streams for a while, and you're also watching the shadow from Italy. So we've got Italian observation as well as my observation here in South Africa. So that's pretty cool. That's rad. Yeah. Oh, definitely. What I want, so Ethan Chappelle is saying, a cheap Dobsonian telescope is a great way to get people kind of hooked on space, and completely right. Easy just to, pull it out, throw it in the street, and people can look through it. You can set up, observing sessions really easy. I've been kind of shopping, looking around here for a secondhand Dob. They're a lot more expensive in South Africa, though. It's kind of ridiculous how much people want even for a secondhand telescope. It's kind of insane, but what you gonna do? I'd love to get another Dob just for the random observing session, because it's just such a cool experience to watch and to look at these things through the telescope directly. It's just something about it. Yeah, you've got double view now. So Davide is looking at his 9.25 inch SCT telescope in Italy right now, and also through this. So yeah, there's not going to be any outreach happening anywhere at the moment. Maybe New Zealand, if there's anybody in New Zealand, you'll be able to do it, but yeah, nowhere else. Yeah, don't throw your Dobsonian. Just like set it, set it quickly set it in the street. Don't throw anything. It's glass. Oh man, this is nice. This is almost like a relaxing planetary imaging session, which it's one of those things that doesn't happen very often. I'm really enjoying this. This is great. Check that. You can just barely catch Io as it gets right on that limb. Io is a cool moon. I really like it. I love it when it gets this close to opposition, because you know, these shadows get right next to the moons where they're at. You know exactly what they're from, and you get almost a 3D. It looks like a 3D look. I mean, it is 3D obviously, but you get this awesome view, you know, of that. Kind of mind-blowing. Kind of funny. Look at that. Oh, you know, it's a little jumpy and everything, but you know, you've got that bright moon Io right on the edge. Very 3D. That's really, really, really cool. Let's see if I can get a decent screenshot going here. Ooh, that one might have been a good one. Just hear all those screenshots popping through. Not that one. Ooh, there's the one. Wow, that's epic. Oh my goodness. So good. We caught an epic one. Wow, that's lucky. Okay, so I'm gonna crop that. Oh, that's so good. Sometimes you just gotta take a bunch. It's like doing lucky imaging of screenshots even. Oh, we're done. Do we need to do more? I think we need to do more. Or should we switch over to, let's do another RGB. What do you think? Because it seems quite nice. This could be interesting. Although RGB with that shadow is gonna be tough. IO is really hard to do. Yeah, screw it. Let's do RGB. Switch over to red. Let's see how our seeing is looking. It's quite nice. Wow. Let's check green. Adjust this focus a little bit. Things have definitely changed since we've looked. Looks very cool and green. Oh, I'm in the middle of something over here. That's cool. Now, See if I need to adjust this focus anymore. It's pretty good. I'm still adjusting focus. Trying to find that sweet spot. It's about as good as we're gonna get, I think. Let's check blue. Seems like things are getting jumpy again. The seeing conditions are supposed to go a little bit downhill as we approach this time. So maybe that's actually going to happen. Okay, we better do an RGB run again. It's the right thing to do. So with Io, 60 seconds gonna be okay? That's the question. Let's just do like, one of these. And then we'll see how it goes. Why not? Okay, so we're gonna do 60 seconds of each color and just see. You're gonna come, so Davide says he's gonna come to Namibia. Show the deep sky and the big doves. That'd be amazing. I mean, just the skies in Namibia alone, when I was there, was, I mean, you get out in the desert here in South Africa, it's really nice too, but Namibia is next level. It's amazing skies. Amazing skies. So, I'm not gonna freak out. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Davide is asking about Clyde's spot. Yeah, no, that spot seems to have, I mean, there's still kind of some stuff around it here and there, but it's not that apparent anymore. So there was a spot over here next to the great red spot, a small, new, bright spot in methane, and it showed up right before the last perijove, the last flyby of the Juno spacecraft. And it was around for about a week or so, maybe two. but it's stretched out and kind of dissipated, so it's not really there anymore. But yeah, we've got Io in the shadow now in green, looking really, really beautiful. Seeing conditions have worsened a little, but wanted to shoot this anyway. So now we're on blue. Okay. Getting quite a bit jumpy in the atmosphere, which was expected. So yeah, I won't shoot any more of the RGB. I might go back to infrared and shoot maybe 10 more infrareds. $68 gigs. Yeah, every few, so Blabrana says every few seconds. Yeah, I mean, you get these really sharp images. Very, very cool stuff. So yeah, as soon as Bloodpire, as soon as I get anything processed, I'll definitely be putting them on Twitter. Hopefully I'll get some done tomorrow, be able to do that. I'm actually going to switch back to infrared now. I go switch back here. Yo, infrared is just the business. This looks so cool. Beautiful. Okay. That's the way to go right there. Let's see if I need to adjust the focus just a little bit. Definitely not quite as good as it was previously. Definitely not terrible though. Yeah, let's do a bunch of these. Let's do like, how many? 8 more, and let's stick them down to 60 seconds. Because Io moves fast. So we'll go back, I'll do that. See if it works. Make sure that's the right spot. This is probably a waste, because I've already got decent images from earlier. Screw it, I'll shoot anyway, right? Because that's just pretty cool. Yeah, I love that infrared view. It's so nice. See if this can stick around. Yeah, blue looks good. Also, blue does look good. Oh, look at how steady that is all of a sudden. Well, that's really nice. Hello, George. Yeah, we've got the nice view here. Io in the shadow, and the GRS is over there. This might make for some nice images. Hopefully that'll stack up nice later. It's definitely getting dim. Yeah, can definitely see the scene conditions going downhill now. Not nearly as good as it was earlier. We're losing it. It was much better earlier in the evening. But we might still get some good stuff out of this, so I'm going to let this go. We've got 3 more captures of infrared with the shadow and Io. And I think Tanya is sleeping. It's late. Yeah, every once in a while we're getting some really nice stuff out of here. I'm impressed. Yeah, we're getting some really good stuff. This is good. Okay, so things steadied out a little bit. Yeah, this is view of this moon. So there's Io, there's its shadow. There's the great red spot there. All three of them on that disk. This is actually really hard to process, these kind of things, because especially Io moves really fast. It's a pain. You know, you've got to do quite a bit of fix up and post sometimes with Io, because it just turns into a streak. So from a scientific point of view, unless you're shooting really short stuff, Io is just usually kind of a blur. But wow, this just looks so cool. Loving this right now. There's the full screen view. There's my full view again. And then our nice view here. Isn't that weird how, yeah, earlier in the night it was much steadier than it is right now. But this is what was predicted, so I'm not going to be surprised. We're on our final infrared capture of the 8. It's going to switch back to red now. Yeah. We're definitely losing the atmosphere. It's not as good as it was before. Gray box at the bottom. Someone's asking what the gray box at the bottom. Hello, James. Nice to see you. The seeing, so let's see, what have we got here? Seeing forecasts. For one, this box here is my telescope control. So this is what I use to move the telescope around with, which is connected to this software here. So this is Celestron CPWI software. They teamed up with Planewave Instruments, and that's why it's CPWI, to create telescope control software for Celestron mounts. It works quite nice. And then this is just the guiding software, which I don't use for guiding. I just use it for targeting. So it's the small scope with a little camera on it. Yeah, it looks like we're losing the seeing now, as expected. So that's pretty good. I think we're going to run this for about 9 more minutes or so. We'll watch this kind of go through. Let's check it out. And I forgot to turn the dark frame off. Hope that doesn't screw things up. Switch that over. Let's look at it in green. See what green looks like, because that'll show the GRS nicely. Oh, wow. Yeah. We've definitely lost the atmosphere, but that's okay because we had some really nice stuff earlier. I was impressed. I'm gonna move it back to infrared while we wait. Yeah, infrared's definitely better. Better view with infrared. I'm not gonna mess around with anything else. It's okay. That's cool. Makes me wonder what. Let's look at methane. Let's see what methane looks like. So yeah, this is the mount controls. We are going to now. The seeing forecast that I use is Meteor Blue. So meteorblue.com, I think. Anyway, and they've got an astronomical seeing forecast where it takes into account the jet stream, obviously clouds, and then different layers, cloud layers in the atmosphere. And it's not always that great. Sometimes it works nice, sometimes it doesn't, but it did predict this, and it seems to be semi-accurate, at least tonight. Ooh, that looks nice. It looks good now. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, the IR filter is almost like a cloud filter. IR can really kind of cut through some of those layers. It doesn't care as much. What was I gonna? Oh, I was gonna switch over to methane because it's interesting. Let's see what methane looks like. Huh. So there you go. You got Io and the GRS. The shadows. It's dark, but it's, yeah. I love methane. Oh, it's so cool. I kind of want to shoot more methane. Just because it looks neat. See if we can really get Io nice and bright there with the shadow. It's pretty stable. Let's see if we can. I'm trying to focus this using Io. It's really hard to focus this methane, but I think that's, ooh, that's good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go back one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool thing about methane is it's so low resolution that file sizes are small and you can shoot it when seeing's a little bit worse. And I'm going to shoot a whole bunch of these because it's just cool. We're going to shoot 10 for, let's do 90 seconds max. Yeah. Let's do that. So we're going to do that. Let's see, I've got a question in the comments now. George Hall asked, do I recommend the Celestron CPWI software with your CGE Pro mount? I would. I really do like it. I was using the Next Remote, the old junky Next Remote software to control the mount remotely, and it's CPWI is way better. I love it in comparison. You know, those are the two main ones that I've really used for mount control. And I really do like CPWI versus Next Remote, definitely. So yeah, give it a try. I think you'll like it a lot, depending on what you're using now. But if you're using the Next Remote, moving over to CPWI is a huge upgrade. So yeah, definitely. I really like it. So like your mount controls, this is the slew control there. You know, you can quickly stop it if you have to. It's got a PEC training feature, which I have not used yet. You need to use your auto guider to do that. I don't guide with this mount because it's overloaded already, and I don't shoot DSO with it. It's just too overloaded, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, no, I really do I like the software quite a bit. I think it's really cool. I enjoy it. I'm also really enjoying this methane filter. I think it's really cool. Looks like we're not quite to the meridian yet, but we're getting some nice detail on this methane, so I'm gonna kind of keep going while the going's good here. I think it looks pretty good. Looks good for methane, at least. You know. No, I don't use fire capture for guiding. My mount, the CGEM mount that I've got right now, does not guide well at all. You have to kind of know how it works. You got to finesse it to make it do what you want sometimes. It's got really bad backlash. It's in big need of a hyper tune, you know, or just a tune in general. So after planetary season, I'm probably going to end up taking it apart and re-greasing everything and fixing it all up. So right now I do not use, I have used auto guiding in fire capture before, and it's flipping awesome. It worked really good when I did use it. So I would highly recommend that. Using the auto guiding feature of fire capture, it works really nice. We've got another comment. Let's see. Renee asks, do I have a set of focus presets for each filter change? I do. Not presets. I set them every night. So what I'll do first is I'll go through each filter. Color filter, I'll set the gain and the focus point for that color filter. And a lot of times they're pretty close, but they are a little bit offset, just slightly sometimes. So depending on how good the seeing is, you know, if you can really tell the difference, but they're usually a little bit different for each color. And fire capture will automatically save those focus settings for each filter, and it works really well. It's nice, especially if your focuser is somewhat stable, and it you know, can go back to the same spot that it's supposed to. Let's see, what's another one we've got. Scott Neath. Maybe it's Neith. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about your name there if I said that wrong. What's my opinion on an atmospheric dispersion corrector for blurry planets not high in the atmosphere? My opinion for an ADC, an atmospheric dispersion corrector, is get one. If I was in the northern hemisphere and I was shooting low, I would definitely get an ADC. I've actually wanted one for here just because I want to give them a try. But yeah, I would say it's definitely worth it to get an ADC. You're not going to go wrong with that. So yeah, get an ADC, especially if you're shooting with a color camera. If you're shooting with a color camera, an ADC is really going to help. So Davide is asking, how do I judge the ZWO CH4 filter? So that's what I'm using right now. In this view, this is the CH4 methane filter. I don't know. I mean, I like it. I think it's a fine filter so far. I've used it 3 times, so I can't really say, you know, how great it is. But the thing is, for the price, it was $100. It's 20 nanometers wide, which is pretty good. That means it's not super dim. You can use it on a smaller scope, and it won't be too horrible. So yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's fine. I mean, it's, you know, not the most expensive filter. I think the Botter filters are probably better, but I can't really say for sure. This is the only one I've used, and I've only used it, this is the 3rd time, so I can't really make a huge recommendation. I do know a friend of mine, Clyde, he's really good at planetary imaging. He's been into the game for a while, and on his recommendation, that's why I got the ZWO CH4 filter, because he produces some amazing stuff with it, and that's how I've always judged the equipment that I buy. I will look around and, you know, do Google searches of images that have been created using specific equipment that I might want to buy. And if it is, basically, if someone can do a decent job, so I look for kind of the best, you know, the best images I can find that claim to use a specific piece of equipment, because if it's possible to get that, then I at least know that, you know, the possibility exists for to get something decent and out of the deal. So that's kind of how I judge. I've seen really good results with the ZWO CH4 filter, so I don't see reason to, you know, get anything else at the moment. But yeah, that's the one I use. Lob Rana is asking, have I tried the OPT tri-band narrowband filter? I have not. I've been interested in doing so. It's just one of those things I haven't gotten around to doing yet. I'm interested to see what it's like to shoot with that filter in Johannesburg, because it could be really cool. Could help a lot. Ethan is saying in the comments, you're using fire capture auto to get it. Yeah, this is a CGEM DX. I'm using a CGEM DX right now mount. So it's I am using fire capture also with the CGEM DX. I'm pretty sure it's above its rated capacity. It's too much, and yeah, it's the backlash is horrible on it. So I don't know, but it does work. It does work, but this mount, it's messed up. There's something going on with it, and I need to figure it out because it's causing issues, causing me some headaches. So yeah, it looks like we've only got one more CH4 in this view. See, we can still see that shadow and the moon Io sitting there. I really like the way this view looks. It's super cool. So but I think this mount is fine. It just can't quite support the weight for DSO. I wish it could. That'd be amazing. But yeah, it does need a tune. It doesn't respond the way I'd expect. Yeah, Davide is using an ADC. I'm using a color camera. So Davide in Italy is using a color color camera on a 9.25 inch scope with an ADC from Italy, and it's actually working out pretty fine from what I've seen. So I think we're gonna go ahead and probably end the stream now, so that I can get some sleep. I'm getting peppered with questions now, of course. So let's see. David is asking, is a ZWO CH4 too narrow for a 9-inch scope? Probably not. You're just gonna have to shoot longer exposure and higher gain in order to deal with that. I think it'll work. It's 20 nanometers wide. It works fine on this 12-inch scope. So just give it a try. Why not? It's worth a try, I think. Let's go back to infrared and see how infrared looks, just for funs. It looks cool. That's how it looks. Make it a little bit bigger. Yep, seeing has gone downhill. We've lost our good seeing, sort of. It's not horrible, but not great. Been at this now for 3 hours. Live stream has just hit the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. This is the infrared filter now. Oh, there you go. You got a review for the CH4 on a C8, so it should work great on your 9.25. Go ahead, go for it, Davide. George says, have I tried Lucky DSO images? Yeah, I have, actually. I've done like 20-second exposures. It does work. It's okay. It's not as deep as I want to go, but it's good enough. So it's something that I would like to play with, but I really need to get this mount sorted out first, and it needs to run smoother. It doesn't run smooth enough. So all right, everyone, thank you very, very much for joining me this evening, keeping me company while I shoot a bunch of data that hopefully I'll try and, you know, crunch my way through tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. And everyone have a good day or rest of your evening. However, whatever you're doing at the moment. So enjoy. Goodbye.